younger panelists here, that this administration and Kenya as a whole appears to be taking matters of education more casually as the days go by. Lecturers are on strike. 50,000 ghost learners exposed just like that, so casually, before a parliamentary committee. We see teachers and unionists in that profession heading to State House to receive tokens and get promises that are not even backed by law. And promises made by the president about capitation money, that yes, it will go back to 22,000 shillings when, according to what we see from Treasury, it's gone down to 15,000 shillings. What is happening to us when we come to discussing education matters?
Well, thank you, Fred, and a very good morning to all our viewers today. Indeed, we are in a very sad state when it comes to matters education. Knowing very well that education is an equalizer, and knowing very well that in the modern society where we are, we need to be discussing actually the change of curricula and how to match that with industry, and more so streamline our education system. But there seems to be a blatant and very deliberate attack on our education system by this regime, because the kind of scandals we are experiencing are unprecedented, according to me. And they seem to be very deliberate. One would wonder, is it a threat that they feel from an empowered youth, given the Gen Z revolution that we're having now? Or is it just lack of care and love of the nation? Because the nation is the people. Such that they do not care for much, because we see a lot of allocation of resources into other sectors. There are areas where they are thriving in terms of funding and facilitation, but when it comes to education, we see that taking a backseat. And yet we know this is a major service. It's one of the core functions of the government. You know, we talk of education, health, infrastructure, but it's very saddening, I must say. And also now to see, as you rightly put it, the recent hosting of the call them the teaching fraternity, including the unionists and all that, at the State House by the president. And again, misuse of resources, because the money that was spent that day, not less than 200 million, is almost the double the amount that is allocated to a single constituency in the name of NGCDF for an entire year. So if indeed there was goodwill to uplift the learning instruments, the learning systems, to support the personnel accordingly in our education sector, that would happen. But I see it primarily just an element of poor leadership, and we are in for dark days. Because when you hear of allocation of resources to a hot air school, a school that does not exist, we cannot even talk about a hospital that does not exist. That is even worse. When you hear about ghost students, and you know, in this day and age, we even do a census of human beings to know how many people are in this country. Are they trying to tell us they don't have a census of students, of pupils, of facilities? You know, it is outright corruption. And is somebody sitting somewhere manipulating the system, doing the wrong thing knowingly, allocating resources knowingly that are going to benefit individuals? And I wonder, Fred, and one must, and I hope all Kenyans we are going to have this conversation, because in every sub-county, there's a district officer, an education officer, who knows about the schools that are existent. Every year we've been having exams. Even now we're in the throes of preparing for our end of year exam. So schools are known, how many they are, how many students they have. So this is organized crime. We must rise up as Kenyans and fight this financial terrorism that we are having in the country.
Right.
Yes.
Are we missing the point, Bwana Sosion, when it comes to education?